First Irish team selected since 2019 without Andy Farrell as head coach. Simon Easterby, interim head coach of Ireland, names his 6 Nations squad for 2025. Can Ireland do the unthinkable? Can they do what's never been done before? They've gone back to back. Can they go the three-peat? A very strong squad with all of these players in sensational form. If there was ever a chance a team wrote themselves into the history books, now is that time. Let me know what you guys think of the squad. Who's left out? Who is in the squad and shouldn't be there? Who should be there that isn't there? Let me know in the comments. Hit that subscribe if you haven't already. And let's get into it. So before we get into too much of it, this year's 6 Nations, I've decided to only cover Ireland and Scotland. The games, do previews, the squads, anything to do with that, reviews, previews, all of that thing. So I'm only covering Ireland and Scotland. Sorry to my England and Wales fans, but you will get a preview when Ireland or Scotland play against England or Wales or Italy or France. Hopefully this means more detail, more focus, more insight of these two squads. I hope so, at least. I'm going to try my best to do that. So looking at the Irish squad, again, the only player that hasn't been or hasn't played for Ireland or hasn't debuted or anything like that, has got the star next to his name, is Jack Boyle, right? The rest of the guys have all been in the squad before, played for Ireland before. There's obviously the development players, Cooney, Ford, McNabney, I think that's how you say it, and then Murphy down the bottom right, as you can see, and then the rest of the guys have all played before. My biggest question, right, around the squad is, I understand the passing of the baton sort of thing. So the experienced players, you have the younger players move through with those guys and they can pass on their knowledge, the ins and outs of the squad, what's expected of the players, the level that they want them to be at or to train at, the standard set. But for how long are they going to hang on to guys like Omani, Henderson even? Who else is there? That's Cian Healy. Like, these guys are really, really old. How long are they going to hold on to these guys? Maybe this is the last 6 Nations or their last year. Maybe these guys are still pushing for British and Irish Lions spots. But they're definitely going to have to put their hand up, man, because that's hotly contested positions across the board. The other teams or other players in other teams vying for those positions are in really, really good form. And so are the Irish players that are playing above these guys in outstanding form. So interesting. And hopefully with new coach there, Simon, that these older players are more of a mentor, in a mentor sort of role, and not taking away game time from that next generation of player that has to come in and go through, find out what it takes, get those little bits of minutes off the bench, see the standards of what it takes to play for Ireland, to play for one of the best rugby nations in the world. You don't want these older guys stealing quality quality minutes from these guys, because, man, when it comes to the 6 Nations, that's what you talk about, the top level of rugby experience, what it takes to be there. 6 Nations is it, and you want these younger guys to learn about that. So I don't know if you probably don't want me to read all of the players' names out. So I've had the squads up here the whole time, or the squad up here the whole time, and you guys can have a look there. So interesting, man. Nothing really stands. Nothing's really like, oh shit, we missed that guy, or why is that guy in? It's a big enough squad to include pretty much everyone that we want in there. Just off the bat though, McCloskey, the centre, not in there, it looks like. He might be injured. I'm not too sure about that. But he's not in there. But you've got guys like Henshaw, obviously Arky, Gary Ringrose, then like Osborne, Kieran Frawley. These guys can also cover in the centre. So interesting, very interesting there. And then like I said, with the oldies and the youngsters, that's my biggest question mark. Like hopefully for the older guys, it is just a mentoring role. And they're not going to take away minutes or anything like that from the younger guys. And again, this isn't me like, oh, we should just throw Irish caps at the younger guys, but there has to be a point where you start nurturing those younger guys in, and nurturing as in giving them the 5, 10, 15 minutes off the bench. Because the best way to learn is to do, and to do is to play the games. Right, so looking at then, I'm going to look at the fixtures. Right, so you got England first up. Firstly, there's only 2 home fixtures for Ireland, 3 away fixtures. You got England first up, which is going to be an absolute cracker at the Aviva. You're definitely backing. I'm backing Ireland to win all of these games. You can back them to go for a Grand Slam, absolutely. Get the 3-peat on a Grand Slam. How huge will that be? But England first up, obviously the bogey team from last year. That was the one team that they lost of a game they lost last year. It was at Twickenham last year, and what a game it was. England again will be with their tails up absolutely for this first game, knowing that they kind of Ireland's bogey team in a way, a little bit, and they'll target this game as well. And then the next week, Scotland at Murrayfield. Oh man, and this is huge. The surgence of Scottish rugby at the moment, and all their players in sensational form as well. And that's going to be an absolute just humdinger, bell ringer of a game. Then you've got Wales at the Principality, and that's a formality, and it should just be by how much, because Wales not looking the best. Gatland's still in charge there, and not too sure about that one. Then you've got Ireland then you've got France at the Aviva. I would say technically the 2 toughest games are the 2 home games that Ireland have. So when it is your rotation of playing one extra game away from home, they've done well to secure the 2 toughest games at home. So France at the Aviva, that's going to be a tough game as well. France, also their players playing really well at club level, and then doing really well when they go to international level as well. They do a lot of the time struggle, especially with consistency. France do. They'll play well weekend and then don't know what to do the next weekend. So definitely back Ireland here in each game. Italy away to round off the tournament. And if they've gone 4-0 or 4 from 4 and the last game is Italy, that could be a scary prospect in Italy as well. We've seen what Italy can do, backs against the wall, or when you underestimate them, they come out firing. They've got game breakers in the forwards and in the backs. So that could be a scary prospect, but you don't want to think about that. You need to take it week by week. Ireland will. It'll be very interesting to see how they go around rotating their squad, giving guys minutes or sticking with what they know, and how they will rotate that squad week to week. So you've got 1st of February and then the 9th of February. So that's the 2 weeks. And then there's a break. Then you've got only the 22nd of February. Then there's another break. Then you've got 8th of March, and then you round it off the 15th of March. A couple of breaks in between, like we've seen throughout the years with the 6 Nations, which I don't really like at all. But it'll be interesting to see how Ireland rotate their squad. What do you guys think of the squad. It was to be expected, the squad, I think. Let me know in the comments what you guys think of the squad. Happy, not happy? Let me know what you guys think. Hit that subscribe if you haven't already. I'll see you next time.